This is the book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 9. But take heed to yourselves, for they shall deliver you up to councils, and in the synagogues you shall be beaten, and you shall be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. Double honors are definitely due unto the venerable apostles of the great millstone, along with the elder bishops who rule well. Salutations, peace and blessings to the Bayaf, the Wadah, that is the house of David, the elect. I'm Shamar Ahmath, back with another video. All right, prophecy. Okay, because in these end times, all right, as Esau Edom sees his kingdom circling the drain. Okay, these beginning with these Amalekites, all right, the fake Jewish, all right, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all right, they're gonna come against chiefly the men of the Lord. All right, and they've been setting this up for years and years and years. You know, the Apostle Paul even talked about, you know, the mystery of iniquity doeth already work in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. So the wheels have been in motion, you know, so to speak, for years, all right, with this new world order, and they're trying to bring that to fruition. So like, and a big part of that is silencing the men of the Lord. All right, the beginning with the apostles, you know, great millstone on down. All right, to every brother who's doing this work sincerely and truthfully, who's preaching the correct doctrine, who's talking about prophecy, all right, who's going into Daniel's the 2nd chapter, Daniel's the 7th chapter, Revelation the 13th chapter, obviously. You know, going into prophecy, talking about what's getting ready to happen to the nations, you know, talking about the kingdom of heaven being established, talking about the CHIP, okay, the MOTB, all right. They're getting ready to come against the prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and the believers, all right, the men, women, and children among Yasharallah, all right, who have believed this report, okay. That goes into Isaiah the 53rd chapter, because only the election have believed our report, all right. The elect of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, natives, okay, and Israelite foreigners, who are the Lord's chosen people. Only the elect of you believe this, all right, and it's going to come with a cost, man. That's why Yahushua said, you know, to count the costs. You know, when we came into the truth and we put our hands to the plow, you know, we had to sit down before we did that and think and ask ourselves, you know, hey, you know, what is this going to cost me? It could cost you your head. Now, it's not going to, now, not every brother is going to meet that end, all right? But there's clearly going to be, you clearly go into scriptures, Revelation the 20th chapter, for example, and read about men who are going to have to be beheaded for this testimony, man, okay? And in those instances, you know, you read about Stephen, for example, and I believe that's in, I want to say Acts. Hold on so I don't misspeak. Yeah, you read about Stephen in Acts the 7th chapter when he's going off against the wicked scribes and Pharisees and cursing them out and going through the history. And then you read about him being stoned and you know, the Lord, you know, will give, you know, mercy to those who have to go through that. That's the only way you could you know, go through it. You know, the Lord's going to have to give you an extreme amount of mercy to be able to endure that kind of torture. But he's going to do that, man. All right. And at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. All right. Because these devils are going down, man. And they know they're going down. All right. Now, this whole terrorism narrative, you know, of course, you could trace it back to September 11, 2001. All right. So, you know, right at 21 years ago. Okay. But they put a Muslim spin on it 21 years ago to get everyone to buy into it, to get these, primarily to get these Edomites, these so-called white people over in America, to go along with giving up some of their freedoms, man. And that's exactly what happened the day after, all right, September 12, 2001, you know, was a whole new world, man. You know, all of a sudden, you know, you know, you were in a state of emergency, you were under martial law, and your rights are being taken away from you, man. But now, look at what they've done. All right. Now they're saying, no longer is it a Muslim threat. Now they're saying it's radicalized Americans. Now, look, does that include some of these Edomites who don't want to see America go down? Yeah, absolutely. But who are they really talking about here? You know? It says DHS head Mayorkas radicalized Americans who believe false narratives are the new terror threat. We know who that's who their primary who their primary target is. It's the men of the Lord, man. And anyone who, again, anyone, man, woman, or child who believes the testimony, man, who believes the truth. All right. So I don't know. I don't have much luck playing videos on some of these websites, but let's see if this will play.
Jonathan, the threat landscape has evolved considerably over the last 20 years. You know, back when 9/11 occurred, in those years, we were very focused on the foreign terrorist, the individual who sought to do us severe harm, to enter the United States and do us harm. It then evolved. We began to be more and more concerned about the individual already resident in the United States, radicalized by a foreign terrorist ideology. Now we are seeing an emerging threat, of course, over the last several years, of the domestic violent extremist, the individual here in the United States radicalized to violence by a foreign terrorist ideology, but also an ideology of hate, anti-government sentiment.
Did they not call us, hateful? Did they not say we're violent? We're not violent. We don't put our hands on nobody. We don't touch nobody. The only weapon we wield, okay, and we use skillfully, okay, is the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is sharper than any two-edged sword, man. But these are the things they call us: hateful, violent, extreme, anti-government. Yeah, we anti-government. We're looking for the kingdom of heaven to be established, where a kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. So yes, you can clearly see, and again, the wheels have been in motion for a long, long, long time. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on this video either, because, like I always say, y'all already know what time it is. All right, y'all know what's getting ready to go down, so we don't need to listen anymore to that demon. All right. Let's see. Well, we just heard him say that quote right there. Matter of fact, that's it. That's it on that. That's like a 30-second read right there. Let's get a couple more scriptures. This is St. Luke chapter 21, verse 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons. Okay. Yeah, some of us are going to have to go to prison. Well, when you don't accept the CHIP, right, the MOTB, the charagma, all right, they're going to, that obviously is going to make you a domestic terrorist, all right, and pursuant to the NDAA, all right, they can hoodie you and put you into prison and never to be heard from again. You don't got no rights. You don't got no right to a fair, speedy trial. You don't have a right to speak to an attorney. No rights, man. They can send your ass to Gitmo and torture you. All right, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. All right, but if the Lord is with you, then you ain't got nothing to be concerned with, man. It says at the end of the day, all right. But being in this flesh, we will go through the straight gate, man. All right. It says, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So we're going to have to go testify, some of us, before kings and rulers, governors, presidents, prime ministers, kings. All right. And tell them, hey, this is what's getting ready to happen. Yahushua's coming back, in the chariots, and all your governments are going down. All right. And all of you are going into slavery. All right. It says, and it shall turn to you for a testimony, verse 13. Settle it, therefore, in your hearts not to meditate before what you shall answer. So we don't have to sit down and write out speeches, so to speak. All right. The Lord's going to give, if that's our lot, and we have to go through this particular, if we have to go down this particular path of martyrdom, okay, what's going to happen? It says, verse 15, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom. So the Most High is going to give us a mouth and wisdom. It says, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. All right. And your adversaries are, of course, Esau, Edom, right? Satan, all right? The adversary, all right? Edom, okay? Beginning with the elites, all right? The rulers of this earth, all right? The international banking families, on down to your relatives. A lot of us have adversaries in our own households, okay? Or we have aunts or uncles, all right, brothers and sisters, all right, even children, okay, that are going to be adversarial to us in these coming days, man. All right. These are things that we have to, consider. Obviously, for those of us who've been in the truth for any amount of time, we have been considering these things. Now it's getting ready to play out, though. All right. It says, and ye shall be betrayed, verse 16, both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And some of you, some of you shall they cause to be put to death, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. All right. So yeah, you're going to be hated for Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai's name's sake. All right. Because again, everyone outside the elect hates Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and Yahushai said not to worry about that, not to trip, because he said if the world hated you, they hated it. It's because it hated me first. Okay, so we're hated because they hate Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. That's what it comes down to. Get one more scripture. I'll wrap it up. Revelation, the 2nd chapter, in the 10th verse. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. So we don't got to worry about their concentration camps or their guillotines or their torture, instruments of torture. Okay, it says, it's like it. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, okay, Esau, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. So, we're gonna be tried, man. Okay, the hour of temptation, we're gonna be tested. All right, it says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. That's just a certain period of time. It's not literal. Okay, it says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So, the elect will be faithful unto death and will receive a crown unto life. All right. Beginning with the 144,000 men from the 12 tribes, the governing body, all right, which will rule the nations, vocab Malone, under Yahushua and King David, all right, with a rod of iron. All right. So, Lord willing, you were edified and comforted. And with that, I want to say, Shalom.